Hey and welcome, I'm Lorelei of Namasturm Yoga. Join me for a Vin and Yin yoga practice. So we're doing Vin and Yin, which is vinyasa yoga combined with yin yoga. So vinyasa is a more vigorous flow, yin yoga is a very still, deep stretching practice. In combination, Vin and Yin. You can start with the Yin because the Yin deep stretches can be done with the body cold, but today we're actually going to start with the Vin. So we're going to move into some flowing first and then we will be stretching later. Let's just take a few minutes here at the top though. Hands to the knees, shoulders stacked over the hips, head floating up on top of the neck. Close your eyes, tune into your breath, and just give yourself a second to prepare for your practice. Transition to an ujjayi breath. Let the back of the throat narrow. Throughout the Vin portion of the practice, we are going to be using the ujjayi, and you can certainly carry that into the Yin practice as well. Let's establish it here, and then we're going to get started moving in just a moment. Maybe setting an intention for yourself at this time. And then nice and easy, let's move to a tabletop position so we can start into some cat-cow stretches. Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. On an inhale, lift the head and tail. Drop the chest and belly. On an exhale, go the other way. Notice how this feels. Notice if there's any places in your body that are resisting. And I know we tend to notice when something hurts or feels uncomfortable, but maybe also notice when something feels good. So if this feels great right now, just enjoy that sensation. It doesn't have to hurt. It doesn't have to be hard. Moving our bodies can just feel good. And then taking the right leg out to the side. Let's take the right arm up on an inhale. Open the heart to the ceiling. And then as you exhale, like scooping the right arm under the left, almost like you're going to thread the needle. But we're just exhaling and then we're going to inhale, open again. So we're just flowing through the twist and then almost like we're going to twist the other way under our body. Follow your breath. One more time. Good. Come on back to center, hands and knees. Let's switch sides. So left leg out. On an inhale, open the left arm. Let your chest open. Exhale. Slide that left hand under the right arm. Inhale. Lift and open. And keep following your breath. So of course the pace of your breath might be different than the pace of my cueing, and that's fine. Go with your breath. One more time. And then back to tabletop. Let's go ahead and inhale to cow pose again and exhale downward facing dog. So see if you can kind of keep your heart pressing back and almost a little bit of a back bend as you go to down dog. That back bend will go away slightly as we lift our hips. And if your back bend stays really extreme in down dog, you might need to slightly tuck your tail. But for most of us, it actually helps to think of a little bit of a back bend as we move to down dog. Take a little time to pedal out the legs, bending one knee, let the opposite leg straighten. let's come forward to plank on an inhale. Shoulders over wrists, extending long, head to heels, with the core supporting you right in the middle. And then let's go ahead, bend the knees, bring them to the floor, bend the elbows, lower the heart between the hands, coming all the way down to the ground. Let the arms extend alongside the body. On an inhale, lift up upper body and legs. On an exhale, let yourself down easy. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. And again, following the breath. We'll just do this a couple more times. Warming up the muscles of the back a little. So we're actually activating the muscles to get ourselves up, but it shouldn't feel like too stressed. We shouldn't be tensing in the low back. One more time, and then this time, once you get up, let yourself hold, reaching the toes back, lifting your heart. And then we're going to bend the elbows by the sides of the body, hands next to the chest, rolling to cobra pose, so tops of the feet come to the floor. Shoulders back, heart up and forward, soft legs and glutes behind you. And then from here, with the fingers spread wide, let's kind of shift a little forward onto the tops of the feet and come to upward facing dog. So let the feet extend. Make sure the legs are directly behind you in case the feet went a little wide. And then from here, let's see if we can press down to lift the hips and just roll over the feet to come to downward facing dog. We're going to try to go back and forth a couple of times. So this is a little different than a vinyasa. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to roll, letting the shoulders come forward onto the tops of the feet, and then we're going to gently lower the hips and lift the heart up. And then we're just going to go back and forth a couple of times. So lifting the hips, roll over the feet one direction, and then moving forward, allowing yourself to move into up dog, almost like you're just backing out of that transition from up dog to down dog. One more time. The upper back is going to round a little bit until you lower the hips, and then rolling to the back bend, and then holding in your next downward facing dog. From down dog, let's take the right leg into the air, open the hip and bend the knee. Point the knee to the sky, twist the low body open, keep the shoulders nice and level. Look forward between the hands, step the right foot forward, top of the mat, knee over ankle, lower the left knee down. Let's take a good low lunge here. So coming up with the upper body, sink the hips forward, arms up, or you could bring hands behind the head, lacing the fingers, widening the elbows, letting the head lean back and nose face the ceiling. And then release the hands from behind the head, fingertips to the floor. Just a really small little flow here. So we're just going to straighten the front leg, letting the hips move over the heel, and then bend the knee again. Try to keep the toes on the floor the whole time as you do this. So gently straightening as you fold, and then coming forward. So it just feels like a little bit of a flow. Try to follow the breath. Maybe exhaling into that forward fold. Inhaling back to the lunge. One more time. And then plant the palms, step the right knee back to meet the left. You can come to plank and lower chaturanga, moving to up dog, or if you want to stick with cobra, you can stay on your knees. Whatever makes most sense. This is a vinyasa now. And then take the left leg up, open the hip, bend the knee, point the knee to the sky, twist that low body, shoulders stay level. And look forward, step forward. Left foot to the top of the mat, right knee lowers. You can pad the knee if you need to, but if hopefully your mat is thick enough, it can support that knee. Sink the hips forward, arms up, or hands behind the head, widen the elbows, lift the heart. The other thing that can help with that back knee, if you feel like it's taking a lot of weight, is to try to transfer some of the weight into the top of the back foot, so that the knee actually gets a little lighter and the foot takes more some of the weight at least off of it. All right, and then fingertips to the floor, and we'll just do a little bit of that straighten and bend with that front leg, trying to keep the toes on the floor, straighten, and it doesn't need to get completely straight, it's just going in the direction of each time. Follow the breath, stay with that ujjayi. One more time through. And then when you come back to your lunge next time, plant the palms, left knee back to meet the right, modified or full vinyasa. Come back to hold in downward facing dog for a couple of breaths. And holding now in the pose, think about lengthening from hands to hips each time you inhale. Maybe finding a little more depth, melting the heart back as you exhale. So although the pose is still, there's a subtle flow within. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, bring the feet to the top of the mat, dangling pose. So nice standing forward fold, soft knees, upper body hangs. You can grab your elbows, maybe sway from side to side here. Nice and easy. Nod or shake the head if you'd like. And then release elbows, bend knees, rolling up to stand once more. Well, and once more, we haven't stood yet. So shoulders back and down. Take your time here. Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet together, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Take a sec with the hands by your sides, palms facing forward. Shoulders back, navel in, tail down. Nice, strong standing posture here. And then following the breath into the first sun A. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive, Uttanasana. On an inhale, half lift, take that flat back. Exhale, step to plank, lowering chaturanga, modified vinyasa if you want to, or chaturanga, right to up dog, and then flowing to downward facing dog. Take a couple resting breaths in down dog. We're going to go through a series of sun A's. There's a lot of ways to modify these or vary these, so take this as your own practice. Down dog can be held really anywhere from 1 to 5 breaths. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, step walk or hop the feet. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Root down to rise up, reversing the swan dive. And palms together. And let's just keep that flow going. So inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. You can step back and lower. You can jump back to chaturanga. If you want to take a push-up here, you can. You can always modify, keeping knees on the floor, sticking with cobra. And then just carry on to down dog. Like I said, 1 to 5 breaths. And we'll do several more rounds. So keep following the pace of your own breath. Try to stay connected here. Good. facing dog, and we'll start to add on to our sequence. So take your time, follow your breath. When you get there, let yourself rest for a few in downward facing dog. Always an option to bring knees to the floor and sub in child's pose for any resting down dogs. So don't hesitate if you need that. Great. All right, we're going to take the right leg into the air, but let's keep the hips square, so sort of classic form of down dog split, thighs facing the floor. Legs should just feel like an extension of the diagonal that begins with your arms and torso. And then knee to chest. Pull it in, shoulders move forward over the wrist, just a couple of breaths, giving the core a little something to do here. Inhale, down dog split, and then let's exhale, step the right foot all the way forward. We're going to take a high lunge, so coming to crescent pose, front knee over ankle, strong back leg, bringing your torso upright, and then take the arms into the air. Good. Yes, yes. Energy, but not stiffness through the fingers, and the shoulders can just relax down. Let's take the left hand to the floor inside the right foot, right arm up, nice easy twist here, stacking shoulders. Stabilize through the collarbones. We are going to go into a side plank in a moment, so try to get the upper body into place for that pose. And then we're going to move the legs and feet, so rolling to the outer edge of your back foot. Let the right foot, leg transition back. Yeah, right there. Lift the hips, lift the gaze if you can. And then turn to the floor. You're in plank. Take a vinyasa. You can skip it if you want to. You can modify, which you will see me doing, or you can go full on if you prefer. Let's take the left leg into the air. Same thing, second side. Square hip down dog split. And knee to chest, shoulders move forward over the wrists. Tuck your leg towards your body. Strong, but keep breathing. Inhale, down dog split. Exhale, step the left foot forward. Crescent pose, good old high lunge here. Strong back leg. Deep lunge into that front knee. Steady gaze, single point of focus ahead of you. And then the right hand's going to come down inside the left foot. The left arm's going to lift up, shoulders stack. Nice easy twist here. So feel this in the torso, and then stabilize in the upper body. And as we move into side plank, we kind of remove the twist because the whole body gets turned to the side now. Flex into the feet. And turn to the floor, vinyasa. Hold and breathe in downward facing dog. Now let's inhale, look to the front of the mat. Exhale, step, walk, or hop the feet forward. Half lift, fold, reverse swan dive, come all the way up. And we're going to stand on the right foot, and let's go immediately into warrior three. So we're going to let the left leg lift behind us and the upper body start to come down, leveling out with the floor. If those arms will stay extended alongside the ears, great. If not, you can bring palms to press in front of the heart. Shoulder blades on your back in that case. Push through the lifted heel. Straighten the standing leg as well. And then we're going to move to warrior one. So bend the front knee and see if you can really just lightly place that back foot down with the toes turned out slightly, and then keeping the hips square, come up with the upper body. This is a little more stable than our crescent pose because the back heel's down, but we are a little more challenged to keep our hips squared forward. So do your best. so see if you can do this, keeping the back heel down. If it needs to come up, it's fine, but see if you can bring your left elbow outside of the right leg and press the palms, turning your heart. Now from here, we're going to step the back foot forward, coming to a prayer twist. Feet together, toes touch, heels are slightly apart. Try to have your knees together as well. And then coming out of the twist, we're in Utkatasana chair pose. Take a couple breaths here, weight on the heels. And then we're going to flow right into a vinyasa. So exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog or cobra. And downward facing dog. Take an inhale in down dog. Exhale, step, walk, or hop the feet forward. Half lift. Fold. Let's reverse swan dive, come up, and we're going to do all this on the other side. So now we're going to stand on the left foot, take the right foot up behind you, warrior three. Palms can press in front of the heart, or arms extend alongside the ears. Push through the lifted heel. Try to make your body into the shape of a capital T. And then trying to land as softly as possible with the back foot. Bend your front knee and step to warrior one. We'll take a couple breaths here. Back heel anchors down. Strong, steady pose. And then let's go ahead and take the right elbow outside of the left leg. So we're taking the twist on the other side. Press those palms. And then here, you might want to look down at your left foot as you step the right foot up to join it. Feet together, knees together, little prayer twist here. And then we're going to come back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Let's take a couple breaths here. From here, we're going to flow into vinyasa, and actually we're going to flow right into a sun salutation B. So exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, high to low plank. So moving through vinyasa to make your way back to downward facing dog. When you get to down dog, one breath per movement. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward, back heel down. Warrior one on your inhale. Exhale, high to low plank. Up dog or cobra. Downward dog. Second side, follow the flow. Left leg up. Step it forward. Warrior one. High to low plank. Back bend. Down dog. Let's just take one inhale here. Exhale, step walker, hop forward. We're going to do one more full cycle. So from the top of the mat, Ardha Uttanasana, Uttanasana, Utkatasana chair, and back through vinyasa, following the flow. Take both sides, warrior one, follow the breath, and then after you've done the whole series, let's just meet and hold in downward facing dog. Breathing in downward facing dog. So we're going to start to transition to our yin practice. Let's bring the right knee forward behind the right wrist. Let the shin cross the mat. Use the left toes to walk the left leg back. back. So this is a classic pigeon stretch. It's called Swan in Yin. It's just a slightly different name, but the pose is really set up the same. If you'd like to deepen the pose for yourself, just because we do want a deep stretch here, maybe take a second to rock to your right hip. We don't want to stay on the right hip, but this can sometimes help move that right shin forward so it's a little more parallel to the front edge of your mat. And then use your hands to lift up so that you're no longer on that right hip. And then you're going to fold down for a sleeping swan over that shin. And you might need to pin your right foot with your hand to keep it in place. You might need to work with a block under your hip, but the goal is to keep from rocking to your hip. Your weight is on your back quad and on your front outer shin. And then just folding down, and we're going to be here for a little longer than we would in like a classic vinyasa or flow yoga class. So just let yourself give in to the deep stretch. We're trying to let go. So yin poses, unlike the yang poses, which are the Vin part is the yang. The yin poses are effort-free. We're really trying to let go, be soft, do less. So allow yourself to give in here. Stay with the breath. Leaving the pose slowly. Let's plant the palms, and we can step to downward facing dog just to help with our transition to the other side. If you need to take a moment here, please feel free. When you're ready, bring the left knee forward behind the left wrist. Shin across the mat so the left foot's kind of behind the right hand. Use the right toes to walk the left leg back, surround the top of the thigh. Let that back foot reach behind you. And then if you try this on the first side, maybe on the second side as well, rock to your left hip, bring the left shin a little further forward. We don't want it like that, right? So we want at most parallel to the front of the mat. And if this is hard on your knee, tuck your heel back in. But the idea is if we can come to a 90-degree angle with that knee, we can get a deeper stretch for the hip. But listen to your body. If it's too intense, you can always back off. The goal here is to do less, but that doesn't mean that nothing's happening. You'll feel this. And you probably noticed that these stretches are held longer, so we have more time to give in. Try to be patient, stay with your breath. It may not feel comfortable, but if it's tolerable and it's not painful, allow the shifts to happen. This is how we change the body with that slow and consistent willingness. Let's go. Time, coming up out of the stretch. Very gentle, releasing these stretches, especially if they felt intense. Step back to downward facing dog for a moment. And then let's lower the knees to the floor. Take the feet a little wide. We're going to come into saddle pose, so we're going to sit between the feet. If this isn't possible for you, you can put something between your feet, like a block or a book or something, so that your sit bones can actually come to the ground, because we do want them down. And for you, it might be just sitting here is enough intensity, enough of a stretch. If you want to go deeper, the option, or let's say the invitation, is to move back. You can start to walk your hands back, maybe coming to the forearms. If you're able to do that, maybe puff up your chest, let your head fall back. And this version can be done whether your hips are flat on the floor or if you're on the block. The next one does require for your hips to be flat on the floor between your feet, and this is just coming all the way back. So this is, again, an invitation, not an obligation, but you could let your back come down and your hands can just rest by your feet. Or if you'd like, you could even bring the arms up overhead and grab opposite elbows if that feels good to you. And we'll just stay for a bit and breathe. your elbows, let them go. Bring your hands back to your feet to support you. Maybe take some weight to your elbows. Come up carefully. All right. Let's shift over to one hip or the other, and we're going to take our legs out wide for a good straddle. So, let's start by going straight down the middle, and the goal here is to let the legs be like really relaxed. So instead of toning up the quads and flexing the feet, we're just going to let the legs be kind of floppy, let's just say. Release all muscles and effort. And we're simply going to start to walk the hands forward. We're not pulling, we're not pushing, we're not forcing. We're just giving in so that gravity is doing all of the work for us. Our job is just to release to gravity, or if it becomes too intense, to resist gravity. So that's where we might need to put some effort into our hands to push us back up if it gets too challenging. But if we're ready to let go, just let go, and we'll spend some time here. So allow for the possibility that things might open up and change. And if you start to feel like your arms are getting in the way, move them out of the way. Let go. Slowly coming up, nice and easy, taking weight to your hands, keeping the legs relaxed. And then let's go ahead and we're going to tuck the left foot in. This is a half butterfly pose. So we're going to just angle the body towards the right. But again, like we did before, right leg is just relaxed, but we're going to fold to the right. So find your way here and let yourself down. Well, don't let yourself down. Let your body down over the leg. Take your time. Coming up. And we're going to set up for the other side. Left leg out. Sole of the right foot in. And this knee can just drop wide. Left leg nice and relaxed as we find our way to a fold. I always think it's interesting sometimes to go from one side to the other because this side is like new and hasn't had the time that I'd already put into the other side. So here I feel like, well, I'm not folding nearly as deep. And it's like, oh, well, it's just because I haven't spent as much time here. As we get into the fold, sometimes the movement is so subtle we don't notice. But we can notice the full version on one side compared to the starting position of the second side. And take your time, coming up, nice and easy. And let's go to a full butterfly. So bringing the soles of both feet in, letting both knees go wide, hips forward to heels. And we're not going to try to like push our knees down or pull our feet apart or, pull ourselves down. We're really just going to try to let go. Nice and easy. Allow the weight of the knees to contribute to the stretch. Allow the weight of the chest and the head and the upper body to draw you closer to the ground. And so we're just going to get deeper as our body's ready to let go is really what's happening here. Because gravity will allow for our body to sink, but only when the resistance of our muscles, of our tight muscles goes away. So it's partly we're getting into muscles, but the other thing that we're getting into a little here is some of our tendons, ligaments, joints, so these connective tissue bits that are much more stable. They're just they're less flexible, they're harder to stretch. But as some of those things start to feel that opportunity, I guess, to let go, you just give in little by little. Just try to notice it. Notice the experience for yourself. And as we come up out of the pose, we don't want to suddenly tense our muscles, so use the hands to walk your body back off. Releasing the stretch very gently. And then let's just bring the knees into the chest and give ourselves a little hug. So the last couple stretches we're going to do are going to be on our back. So let's lower down to the ground and take a simple happy baby pose. Let the knees come by the sides of the chest. Let the soles of the feet face the ceiling. Let the hands, the weight of the hands are just going to rest on the outer feet. So it's not so much that the hands are pulling the feet down, but that as we relax the shoulders, the weight of the hands is just encouraging the feet and then the knees down by the sides of the chest. Maybe close the eyes here and breathe. And then you can let go of the feet, let the knees tuck into the chest, and we're going to do a supine twist. So you can take the arms out, either straight out at shoulder height, or you can bend the elbows. And then let's let the knees drop to the right, but turn your head back to the left. Allow the left shoulder to relax down. And give in here. Stay with your breath. Time switching sides. So bringing the knees through center and letting them fall easily now to the left, turning your head back to the right. Soften, breathe, let go. then take your time easing your way out of the twist. Maybe hug your knees into your chest. Roll your low back around on the ground a little bit. And this is the perfect opportunity to let yourself just slide into a corpse pose, relaxing completely on the floor in Shavasana. So take some time there. That really is the best pose to complete any practice. But I do want to seal the practice with you, so I'm coming back up to sitting. And whether you're on your back or if you've come up as well to a seated position, maybe take a moment just to bring your palms together in front of the heart. Close the eyes, tune into your breath again. Checking in with yourself here at the end of practice, noticing if anything's shifted, or at least just noticing how you feel. We seldom do that throughout the day. The light in me recognizes and honors the light in you wherever you are. Thank you so very much for joining me today and sharing this practice. Namaste. Alright, well thank you so much. If you did enjoy this practice, please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. You know, all the good YouTube stuff. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. I always love to hear from people who are practicing along with me. Thank you so much. Take care and join me again next time. Bye-bye.